Hey guys, and welcome back. We've got another episode for you here with Bogarus. And, yeah, we've got some death gems coming in from TNG. This was all part of a trade I organized where I sent 600 gold to Raga, and Raga sent, because Raga needs a lot of gold right now because they're getting birded. They've kind of been murdering the bird armies. However, they have been losing income. And then they have, they've sent 30 water gems to TNG. And so that scratches a lot of itches. I have plenty of gold, but I need some death. TNG needs the water so he can kick Atlantis out of his lake system. And then I also sent 10 air gems to Midgard, and we have gotten fire gems back. We've been summoning some Smeargles. Samargles. Anyway. And, yeah. So anyway, that's all happened. We cast Dark Knowledge, didn't find anything. And some scouts. This is a kind of cool battle with the troglodytes. It went better. I was actually expecting to lose 2 knights here. I didn't do flaming arrows. Because the flaming arrows tend to... Oh my god, that crossbow volley. The flaming arrows tend to kind of cause a lot of friendly fire. But the hope was we get one more crossbow volley off before the cav hits. And they're mostly successful there. And they're all routed now. And now we need to not cause friendly fire. And that one guy is going to get... Yeah, we caused some friendly fire there at the end, but not enough to kill anybody. So, that's that. Down here, Raga attacking, Patala attacking. I'm not actually sure. I think this might be Madame Fortuna, the Merc Band. Yeah. And they're scripted to retreat, which is a bit odd. Normally you don't script with mercenaries to retreat, and I'm not sure why she was patrolling exactly. But there's a horror here. There must be a horror cult present. I don't know if we can see the events that caused that. I think you might need a... Oh, no. Yeah, a horror cult has taken root. Poor guy. I hate horror cults. There was actually a discussion in chat today about how you can... there's a silver lining to these, which is you can enslave the horrors... I don't think they're oh no, they're a commander. So you could even charm them and keep them as a commander. They do have a 5% chance to defect though. So it's very hard to charm them without taking losses or enslave them without taking losses. You probably can. But all in all, this is still a really bad event, I think. But, if you get a pet horror that you can use for, maybe about even 20 turns, which is probably plenty enough time to get him killed. It could work out to be not quite as horrible. And down here, okay, that was it. And then for events, we got bad events, actually. This is our first turn with 2 only bad events. Normally, if we have a bad event, it's counteracted by a good one. The unrest event happened here in this place that we have a ton of dudes, and it also has misfortune scales. Where'd the other bad event happen? Here, where we also don't have good scales. So we really do need to preach and get our Dominion everywhere. It's going to help a good bit with events. To that end, we're making another Eparch here, and we're going to send him over to this fort. There's a few things that are happening this turn. So one is, if you can look at it, things do not look very good for Team Elf. I have asked Patala if I can have these 2 provinces as I vulture, and he said no. Well, he said I can have this one, but he said this one would be is a fort, and he doesn't want to give it up. And so I said I would have to talk to my partner, and I still haven't talked to him. I need to talk to him, but we may buy Patala off and probably give him like $800 or something for the infrastructure. I think he wants to be bought off for it, and I'm okay with that. It's totally worth buying the province, I think. he's going to do all the work, but this is like very vulture friendly. This province is super hard to get for him to get to, especially if we get this one. He can only get to it from the north. And it's going to also block off his access to this throne, which is fine too. Anyway. I still haven't gotten permission from the elves to vulture yet, and we have a non-aggression pact. Though I have mentioned it to him this turn, and I think he was a little tired. He had said, like, oh, if you want to vulture and take stuff back from Patala that was formerly mine, that's fine. And we can negotiate it later. And I was like, oh, I'm not really looking to attack Patala. Like, I'm not taking part in this war, really. But yeah, no, my next fight's probably going to be with Arco, so I don't really want to piss them off too much. Anyway. So that's interesting. Who is going to get possession of these? We probably are going to get possession of this. I probably should offer to buy it from him, like for a lump sum. Which might help him with the defense. But this one of the things, like, it's easy to get in the mindset that, oh, I want to help him defend so that, like, I could give him 500 gold for this and he could put it into PD, which would kill monkeys, which is great and all. Like, yeah, if I got to, if somebody gave me a zero cost way of deleting 200 monkeys, would I do it? I'd probably say yes right now. But I think that's a kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit of a childish way to think about the game, I think, too, because, like, the monkeys and I are going to be friends for a while, and I don't really have any beef with them doing well. And if anything, they're going to be potential allies against Arco, or if they're not active military participants against Arco, they'll at least be passive supporters. And they now are going to be one of our neighbors, so. But they wanted a non-aggression pact with us, too. And I told him I don't have an issue with the non-aggression pact, but probably need to take this. That said, with this war with Midgard starting to kind of reach its final phases, we're going to go ahead and try to take this throne. And we're going to roll up in here with a small communion, 2 slaves, 2 masters. We're going to be doing... We've got reinvigoration going off at some point in the script too, so that will be good. But communion master, arrowfend, flaming arrows, reinvigoration. And we've got this guy doing... Oh, we don't have earth power going off. So this guy's going to do earth power on this slot too, which will help a bit with fatigue. But yeah, anti-magic, summon earth power, and yeah, that should be nice. That should be real nice. The anti-magic's important because this particular throne we're going after has 5 astro mages with pearls and stuff on them, so they'll be casting Mind Burn and maybe a few Soul Slays. And then Arrowfend is going to be nice because they have archers and we have archers, and Flaming Arrows is nice because we have archers. So this should tear them up. Our formation's a little kind of wonky. We have most of our commanders here at the back. I don't want them to get hit by stray arrow fire. I think there's a small chance they might be able to summon some baby air elementals or something. If that's the case, we've got these guys in a loose formation, which should reduce the odds the air elementals land on the commanders. And I've got these guys on Hold and Fire Flyer, so if air elementals do come back, they'll hit them. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. If there's none of them, then they're going to just default to targeting something random, which is fine. But yeah, I think that is that's all good. So we should be able to take that. Hopefully no losses. And I really don't want this lady to die. Blood Air, because she's a kind of nice cross path. Atlantis has moved this army south. I think to protect this fort going up. If he gets a fort up, it's going to be super annoying. We'll have to try to, like, Dom kill him or something, but... yeah, I mean, I'll be able to kill him underwater after not that long. But we'll let TNG give it a go. We are starting building another fort up here where we've got a lab. We're wasting an Eparch turn to do it this turn, but we'll be moving in a commander shortly thereafter. And this dude got diseased. Site searching here, thanks to the Inkpot end. Gosh darn it. We're site searching here. And so basically, we still have a lot of site searching to do over in the Atlantean lands. But all of this stuff, we've started to site search it pretty good. I mean, it's not a ton of stuff left. However, there's still a fair amount of stuff left, if we look at it, that we need to get with that's completely empty. And we're going to be hitting probably like 5 of them this turn with Dark Knowledge. So hopefully we find another Death Side or 2. That would be super nice. And we've still got a lot to site search with Fire. Now, Fire we're not going to be doing remote searching with. And that's mostly because I want every single Fire gem I can have in order to control Eternal Pyre. So that's all happening. I need to start site searching water too. We've got a decent amount of income. Not income, of... Well, we do have income too from Atlantis, but a decent stockpile. And I want to cast Voice of Apsu, but I need to be Conjuration 4 for that. And it is... Yeah, right here. So... yeah, we're going to need to get that in reasonably short order. However, I have kind of delayed us because I've also said I want to get Thomb 4 because I want to get the Gnome Lore, which is maybe not super wise. Maybe we finish... Maybe we get that like this. I'm not totally sure on the orders, but... I want to get Construction 6, because there's some kind of, like, lead time little fidgety things I want to have. Like, I want to have the fire boosters made. I don't want Eternal Pyre to be dictated by them. I also want to have... I wonder if... No, there's no way. But I also want to get some of the remote site searching things. And then Conjuration 5 is also going to give me, like, Banelords and stuff, which I kind of want a Banelord right now. And if I wait, we can go higher, and I can get... maybe something more fancy like a white Wraithlord at 7, but we'll see. Anyway, right now we're turning most of our death gems into site searching. We're hitting this province. We may make another pass at this throne. I'm getting more of these footmen because I just need bodies to block this. We need a lot more bodies. So the heavy cav are great, but I think I just need footmen to make a nice long line. Put arrow fend up and just pummel these guys with arrows is what I need. I don't think I mentioned it. This guy is the random we got from the Iron, from our, whatchamacallit, Tower of the Iron Order. And the air random is kind of nice. So we kind of want one of most of the randoms. The air random's special for a few things. They can make the Sculptata Volturnus. They can make the Flying Shield. If we need to, they can also do Rain of Stones, though that's a kind of shit spell. And what else can we do? We can also make Watchers, which are pretty interesting. We already, as Bogarus, have very good patrol chaff. We have these Smeargles, which are excellent. And Watchers compete with them, because they also... Let's take a look. I can't remember if they're Earth or... No, they're air, yeah. So it's air. We'd have to give them quite a few boosters, but, we have the cross path. These have a patrol bonus of 50, so they're actually about as efficient as our Smeargles, which, they're 1 gem, but their total patrol strength is 12, so they're a bit better than the Watchers. However, the Watchers are much better at actually fighting. The other problem with Watchers is they're magic beings, so you have to patrol with a mage, but that can be also kind of a blessing in disguise, because a lot of times it's good to just patrol with a mage, or at least have mages present in the PD. If you run into something, you can even just one mage, you do Power of the Spheres, Reinvigoration, and this guy's all of a sudden, an Astral 2, Death 2, Blood 2, and, he'll do Mind Burn or Horde of Skeletons, and that can really mess up a lot of thug rating, just having one mage present. And that's just like a Pearl and a Blood Slave that you commit as part of the patrol chaff that will go a long way to keeping you from dying to thugs. So, anyway, and then Watcher's obviously going to be good against thugs too. 1 second. Oh, I just had a big old fat sneeze. So, all that's happening. Now, we want to get to war with Arco, but I think... Or it's going to be delayed a little bit. And it's going to be delayed because Atlantis can't get under... I mean, TNG is taking their sweet time to get under here and kill this stuff. There, I could have made some plays earlier, like risky plays where they had sent their god to magic phase on top of different things, and that might have been nice, but I don't know. It's if they get a fort up here, we're going to be a little sad, which I've said many times. But yeah. The last thing I want to talk about this episode, and it's going to be, I guess, a kind of quick episode, is we have gotten, I think, another death random for our Starezza, and these are really nice. I mentioned one of the main reasons they're nice is the death air crosspath. You can throw into a communion and do the important air death spells. However, there are other strange uses you can use for these guys. And I'm going to show you one of them. And this actually is not terribly far away in terms of technology. We can do this in reasonably short order, like within the next 12 turns. So we can twice born them and turn them into a white mage. And as a white mage, they get some kind of interesting pass. Now, this is an enormous amount of gear on this person. You know, this is 5... 15, 25, and then 40, 45, 50, and 60 gems of stuff, right? So this is not low commitment. This is like a global. However, this guy has the potential to kill an army that isn't really prepared for this, which if you're attacking Bogarus, you don't really expect this. So it magic phased in with teleport, power the spheres, invulnerability, soul vortex, or body ethereal soul vortex, phoenix pyre, now we probably could have done some of these things better. Like, it may have been better for this to be a dancing shield, I think. And the protection also is not super high. It would have been probably better to get the protection up a bit higher. Though protection versus mundane is pretty good. These also are guys with magic weapons, magic piercing weapons. So, anyway, in this particular script, you can see it takes a while for Soul Vortex to activate. Once it does, though, it starts activating a bit more as she's more surrounded by troglodytes. And this is how a Phoenix Fire Thug works. So is this something you want to spam out and do a ton? No. But is this a good thing to have as a single use, not a single use, but to have one of these guys that you can deploy when you need to? The answer to that, I think, is probably yes. I think it's probably yes. And you can see we racked up a bajillion afflictions. Now, it's possible we can actually get these all off. I think. Let's actually double check that. Let's see what it would take. And I want to see how well it works on an actual Starezza, not a Starezza thug. Move him here. We'll make some blood boosters real quick. Make the generic blood boosters. And we'll unload this stuff. Load her up with all of her blood gear. She's now blood 2, which is not very impressive. Now, she could get feeble-minded or whatever. But this does give us enough to do Blood Feast. And we are good as new with a small craving for flesh. Now, that destroyed some population, but, you know, could be totally worth it. So, okay, this is a kind of cool thing we can do with these guys. I do approve. I don't think you want to mask this. I don't think it's super... I don't think it's a good thing to do like that. One thing I also want to show you, and I kind of want to test it for myself, is... there's a kind of weird fidgety thing we can maybe do. we're going to need a bit of different gear. I kind of want a death random. Oh, here's one. Okay. So she's going to get a Starshine Skull Cap. We're going to make some gear. So first thing we're going to make is the gear for our dudes, who I don't particularly care about, but we're just going to give them some cheap gear. And then we're going to make a Ring of Returning for our main dude. Where are you, Ring of Returning? I forget, we actually have to research for that. Okay. And let's make a Ring of Returning. And then I think what we're also going to put on these guys is... This will be using them basically as sacrificial. We'll do 2 lifelong protections, and I think that's it. So here's the plan. The plan is we take this dude, we load them up with some armor, we give them a Ring of Returning, and I probably also want to give them a, if I can, like... an Amulet of Giants, and a Coral Sword, so they don't die. Okay. So this is one of them, and then we have these 2 monkeys, who are basically equipped like this. And the idea is not putting much gear on them, because this gear is almost certainly... Well, I don't know. The gear may survive. So we're going to teleport them here. We're going to Cloud Trapeze these guys here. And we're going to script them. These are going to be slaves. And you are going to be... Oh, actually, I don't think I want this on them. What I do think I want... Oh, I forgot. These guys were also just because this is in no way important or needed, but we'll do this anyway. We'll put these lifelong protections on them because we're being cheeky. Okay, anyway. This person's pretty safe. Their max HP will be higher now. It'd be a lot safer to wait 1 turn and do it, but we're not going to do that. So she's going to turn 1 do Communion. Actually, I think what we're going to do is these guys are going to turn 1 do Body Ethereal, and then turn 2 do Power or Communion Master, like so, or Communion Slave. And let's put this on 3, and then we'll change this one from Body Ethereal to Luck, and we'll have this guy do Cheat Fate. I wonder, does Soul Vortex... You know, I think actually this guy is going to do Communion Master right away. And then I think we're going to do Power of the Spheres, which will actually take a little bit longer than the other guys are going to have to cast. So this will be fine. And actually, we don't need that. Well, we'll see. We're going to do Soul Vortex. I need protection buffs on them. And vulnerability should be fine. And then Phoenix Power. Higher, yeah. I think this will work. And then on Atlantis, we'll just give them a boatload of PD. Now, there's obviously a ton of ways to mess with this. You know, just like a single air elemental will fuck these guys up. But I probably need to put Soul Vortex at the end so they his Ring of Returning doesn't get triggered before the script finishes. But you can see there's some really stupid things you wouldn't even ever think about, really. Which we're over here in YouTube land just indenting. How the hell have they not died yet? That's what I want to know. Well, Phoenix Fire's not even going to get to go. Holy shit. And I was not expecting that. But guys, these are weird, crazy things you would never think of. Unless you're a goddamn mad scientist like me. I'm just kidding. Y'all can think of this stuff. But now, against real players that are putting mages in their armies and are going to have all sorts of weird things, it's going to be much harder to pull this off. But don't let that fool you into thinking it's not possible. You can hide this behind PD. You can put this in with an army. Because these guys are going to... You know, I mean, there's just a ton of different things you can do to make this, something like this still happen, but there's still ways to obviously kill it. You can also put in multiple communion masters. There's a bunch of things you can do. Anyway, that was fun and exciting. However, what I will say is these mages are going to be pretty goddamn useless at this point. They're afflicted and diseased. They don't have blood, so they can't get rid of any of these. They're pretty much toast, but they've done their job. Presumably by this point. And for the most part, you can take all the gear off them. You just come over here, and we just take everything off. And if you don't put the soul contract on, which you have not a ton of reason to do, though it did help there a bit, you know. And if you kept it on, you can just have them, you know, waddle around and keep regening them up, like make them communion slaves and put regen on them, and it'll cap this up every fight. And just let them live their best life. You know, with all these horrible afflictions before the horrors come and claim them, or disease does. But, you know, this is the life of our little pajama men in Bogarus. So, I think that is... Well, let's go back to the thing. We'll end on the actual turn. Make sure I didn't miss anything. And by the way, it may be possible to actually thug with just the Staretza without turning it into a Whiteborn or a White Mage. The White Mage has a lot of advantages and some disadvantages. But the advantages are they don't have encumbrance. They have way better base stats. They have more HP, so they'll regen more. They have a higher, like, Soul Vortex cap. There's just a lot of good things about it. Anyway. I think that's about it, boys. I think that's about it. And with that, we will see you in the next episode. Cheers.